He basically is able to fight off anything that comes in his direction. Sometimes I think of the Samuel Beckett quote, like ever tried, ever failed, never mind, try again, fail better. So it's saying basically that even though life may present you with obstacles and challenges, you've got this mode of survivorship, and it's gonna do you well, because right here there's some sort of grief or loss that is on your mind at the beginning of August. This is Five of Cups, and the focus of the figure is on these three cups in the foreground that or in the background of the card, but the foreground for the figure is that it's some sort of loss. It's like three cups of wine or blood that's been spilled, and this person is grieving, and they're in sorrow, in sadness. But one of the things I always point out in this card is that there's always two cups behind him that are available if the person was to turn around and to get through their grief. There's still love to be had, and you still have something, even though there is a loss and the grief is acknowledging the loss or the sorrow. There's still something left once you can turn around and not have your focus on the loss. So this survivorship, this endurance is going to get you through this. And this card, Eight of Wands, means that things will happen swiftly. It means that the situation is 80 to 90% lined up. Perhaps there's something that you're waiting for to happen, or something that's been in process. It's almost a feeling like, when is it going to happen? When is it already? And when Eight of Wands shows up, it means that there's a missing piece of information or last puzzle piece that's coming to you. It means news and information. So it means that you may get the last puzzle piece. You may come across something that just unlocks the last bit of information that you needed for everything to line up. So, and this also implies swiftness. So things can happen very quickly when this card shows up. And it may mean that a new beginning is approaching for you rapidly. Like, things happen quickly and then all of a sudden you're in a new beginning. Fool means everything is new. It's the zero card. It's the very first card of the deck, and it's when all things are possible. Everything is full of potential. Fool has great trust in the universe, and just sort of launches off into an adventure full of enthusiasm, full of an open heart, and like embracing everything that happens. Fool doesn't have a care in the world, and he goes with the flow, and he's open to what the world brings to him. So this is a card generally of renewal, because it's a card of a new cycle, a new attitude towards the world. It's a card of faith, of trust, of trusting the divine to catch you if you jump. So the sense that I'm getting, the storyline at the beginning of August for you, Aries, is something that you're enduring, endurance or survivorship. Sometimes this can show up as paranoia or defensiveness, or always feeling like stuff is coming at you, but mostly it's survivorship and endurance. And then there is something that you are going to have to endure, to face a loss or acknowledge something. Because it's in the reverse position, you might have trouble letting yourself grieve over it, or letting yourself have emotions over anything that you've lost. But then things might switch up and happen very quickly, and then you may have a sense of renewal, of a new chapter, a sense of like, this is kind of the same feeling like when you wake up in the morning, you open the windows and you smell that fresh air, and it's sort of like you're ready for a new day. And the sun is shining, over here. It's full of hope, full of just openness is a really good word for Fool. On the low side, Fool can be like too carefree and reckless and just like naive, but sense I'm getting for you, Aries, is that it's just like freshness, new adventure. So you're opening to your new adventure in August once you get through whatever it is that you have been enduring, and whatever it is that feels like loss or feels like something that you need to grieve over. You're going to get sort of like that last puzzle piece or that last bit of information. Things can happen very quickly when this happens. It's 80 to 90% lined up, and then you arrive here at a new beginning, fresh adventure, trust in the universe. This is a very good card for Aries, because you guys are at the beginning of the zodiac, and this is the beginning of the tarot. So it's sort of like you guys, the similarity between Aries and Fool is that you guys are up for anything. You guys love a parade. You guys love adventure, love a challenge even. So, and Fool can get right on board with that. Um, there's three coins cards here, which usually represent money, assets, possession, value, and then it's echoed by another coins card here. The first thing I'm seeing is that the page and the queen may be at odds with one another about money issues or values. So because they're like head to head, they're looking in the same direction, which means that they may have similar goals, but they have different ideas about how to go about it. So page and queen, usually page is a younger person and queen is, the older female who has more experience or more authority. And she's usually really good with money. She's usually pretty down to earth, practical, but she's in the reverse position in this particular case. So if there's someone who's usually pretty practical and down to earth, she's not in alignment with the truth right now. This is Ace of Swords, which is the truth card. And she's in reverse, it's in reverse, so there's some truth that she's not seeing. However, there are two ace cards here. So it's funny because I'm almost seeing like this page card is in alignment with receiving new money, in alignment. He's very open and very willing, kind of like Fool, where he's very open. And Page of Coins has a lot of willingness and optimism, especially regarding money. This could be like a new job offer. Page is like, sign me up. I'm ready to do the work. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to take it on. I'm ready to receive the money. I'm ready to get my first paycheck kind of thing. And Ace of Coins means new money coming in. So I'm seeing real potential, Aries, for you at the middle of the month for a new job, potentially, if you wanted it, or a new way for money to be coming in. Perhaps if some of you are selling things, this is your first, blossoming of some sales, or it's like receiving a new possession, receiving a new asset. This is really good money manifestation cards. It's a good set for that. And I'm seeing it kind of like a mirror image here with the queen has a mirror image. They're both looking in the same direction and they both have aces that correspond to them. But she's in the reverse position. She's not seeing things straight up. She's seeing things upside down. Whereas this Page of Coins is seeing things like straight, seeing straight, essentially, or seeing things clearly. It's also funny because the Knight of Coins is looking away. Like if this is a man that you're involved with, or if this is someone in the situation, it could be mother, father, child. But this is usually an earth sign. So this is usually Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. They are not wanting to be involved. They are looking away. They're actually like marching to the beat of their own drum. And they're doing their own thing. The real thing that's going on here is between the Queen of Coins and the Page of Coins, and like a new beginning, especially regarding money for this page, but it's at odds. The Queen is not seeing the truth of the matter. So with double ace energy, there's really a possibility for a new beginning here. I think you just have to work on common vision and common goals, especially when it comes to anything with like mother or child energy, or older woman, younger man energy, or if it's, someone who's acting young or acting old. This dynamic, you need to focus on your common vision, because it's almost like she's got half of the coin, he's got the other half of the coin, and they're talking about it, and they both are looking in the same direction. They just have different ideas. They're totally flip-flopped about how to do it. So I'm going to encourage you, Aries, at the middle of the month, this is good money energy for you. See if you can align with optimism, with willingness. If somebody's got an idea, especially a young person who's saying, this is how money can come in for you, listen to them. And especially too, if they are a earth sign person like Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, they're going to have some good information for you about where the money can come in from. Your job, Aries, is just to be open to it. Be open to receiving it. If you see this image in this card, it's a palm, and it's handing you the money. So I want you to just focus on like having your hand open to receive that coin, because it's creating a new lifestyle for you here. It's a new garden, it's a new portal, because it's an ace, it's a new beginning, so it's a new way to interact with money. And this guy, Knight of Coins, even though he's not directly involved, he can be a good role model of how you want to, who you want to follow. He's very practical. He's very reliable. He's very methodical. He takes his time to consider things. He considers the bottom line of things. And again, if it's a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, that's definitely this Knight. And he would be a good person to follow, to show how to budget, to how to achieve that. You know, he's kind of like blazing the trail. And then traditionally even, the page follows the Knight. So he's got the beginnings of money, and this guy has more experience. This is actually a salesperson card, someone who knows how to manage money, how to budget, considers the bottom line of things, considers the value, the practicality, weighs the matter thoroughly, and makes a very grounded decision. So in the middle of the month, it's actually funny too, because traditionally in the story, usually the page and the Knight are out there in the field, and they usually bring back the spoils for the queen and the king, who's not pictured here. But it's funny, it's almost like these people are collecting the money to bring it to the queen. So if you have a young person or a man who symbolizes King of Coins, he may be bringing that to you as Queen of Coins, but you're not seeing the truth of that. There's a lot of different possibilities here, Aries, but I'm going to say good money. Open your hand in the middle of the month to see how it can come in, and especially take any suggestions, even if they seem far-fetched, from this Page of Coins young person, because they've got some great ideas. And then the Knight of Coins has the experience. There is a way here which this Hanged Man, even though he looks like he's in the upright position, this is actually the reverse position of the card. And when this card shows up in the reverse position, it may mean that you're worried too much about what other people think. This is the actual position of Hangman, and he's hung up in the public square for people to see. And he's kind of hung up as an example of how not to be in society. They're saying, like, this is the criminal, or this is the one that you don't want to be like. But he marches to the beat of his own drum, and he's very comfortable with himself. And he actually, through seeing things from a different point of view, because he's hung upside down, he actually gets enlightenment there. He actually gets very comfortable, and he accepts himself fully, and he doesn't really worry about what other people have to say. He may feel like an outsider, but he doesn't care. He's just like he's kind of off in his corner doing his own thing, and it works for him. So, and he gets enlightenment because he sees things from a different point of view of other people. He may appear eccentric or quirky, but he really has a lot of value just in doing things his own way, marching to the beat of his own drum. So in the reverse position, I'm going to say, Aries, there may be a way in which you're too concerned about what other people think. You're too worried about fitting in or keeping up or what the appearances look like. I'd like to offer you to strip all of that away, because it may be blocking something that has to do with your heart. This is Queen of Cups, and she's the master of her emotions. Usually this is a water sign, so this is Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. There could be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio that shows up for you at the end of August, but it's also possible that through caring too much about what other people think, that you may block your intuitive psychic abilities, your ability to be compassionate, the ability to be master of your own emotions, because you're worried too much about public opinion. But down here too, Queen of Coins and Ace of Swords, we've kind of already touched on that a little bit. This is usually someone who's very practical, usually very down to earth. This is usually another earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, but this could be you, Aries, in the situation, if you are like the head of a household, or if you are like with a king, if you relate to Queen of Coins. And that means usually being very thrifty, very reliable, very frugal, being able to manage things well. But in this particular case, if that's you, you're not seeing the truth of the situation of something. Ace of Swords, is the Truth card. And in reverse, it's trying to make itself known to you, but it's not being able to get through. It's being held in shadow for some reason, or sometimes there can be fear or denial or doubt about something when Ace of Swords is in reverse. But there's definitely a new beginning available. You just have to work it out with that Page of Coins person. This could be in some way saying, this is the way it's always been done. This is the budget that's always worked for me. But you're missing out on the truth that new money can come in. And that's where this young, fresh, enthusiastic willingness energy can really help you to receive this new coin that's coming in, this new money. And Knight of Coins can help you. Follow him and look to see what he's doing. He's not really being involved in this. And this could even just be two sides of yourself, Aries. Your past experience with willing to be seen as a newbie, as a rookie, and allowing more money to come in instead of saying, oh, well, this is the truth. This is how it's always been. I need to be seen as an authority. That's not necessarily true. Try to be open to being like the amateur, and that's where the new money is. So listen, Knight of Coins is going to help you with that. He's gone out and done a lot of adventures. He's blazing the trail as far as the coins and the money goes. He's very courageous. And that's what you need to follow in order to get from being an amateur to more experienced to your usual, self of authority. That's just not going to work right now. You can't be the expert in this particular case, even if it's worked for you in the past. Because it's not in alignment with the truth. It will block that new beginning. The Hermit card is a card of experience. It's funny. It's almost like this is a progression of experience from Page to Knight to Hangman to Queen to Hermit. And Hermit is he's like a guru card. He's very spiritual, and he strips away everything that has to do, that's not relevant. It strips away everything that has to do with the outside world. He doesn't care about clothes. He doesn't care about politics. He doesn't care about religion or what's happening in the news or gossip or anything. He just wants to know the truth. And there may be a way with this truth being blocked, you may end up like seeking the truth. And sometimes it means isolating yourself, going up into the mountains, asking what's really real, what's really true for me. That's what this lantern represents, is he finds the truth. But the way he does that is he separates himself off from the rest of society, goes up into the mountains, really goes on sort of like this spiritual retreat. And that's where he finds this lantern, which is the real truth. And that's what he holds up for everyone to see. So sometimes Hermit can feel a little like isolated or by himself, but it's really like when you strip everything else away, nothing else really matters. And that's the truth that he finds. And that's what the lesson of this guy worries right now in the reverse position too much about what other people think. This guy really doesn't care what other people think. And therefore he's able to find the truth. In this guy, when he's in the upright position, they're actually very similar cards. They cast off what society says they should do, and they find enlightenment through following their own path. So I'm going to encourage you to do that, Aries. Don't worry too much about outward society. It may block your heart, because this card is a card, Queen of Cups, which is all about compassion. It's all about connecting with your heart, connecting with your emotions, connecting with your own psychic ability, your own intuition and compassionate side. It's only through your lack of caring what the outside world thinks that you're going to be able to get quiet enough to access this card. That's why it's in the reverse position. It's if you care too much about mundane things, superficial things, then you lose access to this card. Wants to be there for you. It is there for you. It's just being held in suppression or shadow as long as the focus is on the mundane, superficial world. Once you get to the point of Hermit, this will open up for you. And this could, like I said, be a water sign. So there may be someone who you have to find out the real truth of the matter in regards to Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. But in general, I'm seeing it as your intuition, your psychic abilities, your inner knowing and your inner heart that will open up once you cast off this superficial or caring too much about what other people think.